Yeah, good morning. I'll take a medium with 2 sugar and a medium regular, please.
Good morning, DDT.
Duffy, how are you this morning?
Not bad. It's been a little bit better of a week maybe than last weekend.
Oh, has?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
Lots
good.
going on. I heard we sold a T-shirt on the merchandise site.
Oh,
We're
yes.
making some money finally.
Yeah, we have a bit of coffee money going forward.
Awesome.
For a couple
That's
of
so sweet.
for at least one show anyway.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. So
I give it a shout out. It's actually a buddy of mine that bought it. So I want to give a shout out to him for buying it and thank you. It's a new design. It's a custom design. He got back to me and said, I really like the injurious one. Could you customize it a bit? So I did that. And now it's up on our, we should promote that more, but it is up on our Teespring store.
Okay.
So there's a new design there that incorporates the injurious waste of time. Although my brother was asking for a bit of the proceeds of the profit, but I told him that basically we didn't make any. So in fact, we lost money. So he'd have to buy us coffee all the time, pay us money.
Perfect.
So
well, you got to send me a picture of that, and I'll tweet it out on Cop Car Coffee at Cop Car Coffee on Twitter.
Yes, exactly. At Cop Car Coffee. So big thanks to him for buying that. He's going to receive his shirt and then walking around. Now it doesn't have our pictures on it. That was the one thing he didn't want on it was our.
Oh, he didn't want the mug shots.
No, he didn't want our pictures. He said that would hurt his chances of getting lucky. So I totally sympathize with that.
I get it. Yeah. Now when you took our mug shots.
Yeah.
And then put them on coffee mugs.
Yeah.
Were you thoughtfully aware of the fact that you were doing like a visual pun?
Yes.
You were?
Of course.
Okay. I just thought of that now when I looked at the picture.
Yeah.
Oh. How come you didn't make more of a thing to educate me on that at the time?
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't even catch it. Yeah. Our mug shots are on coffee mugs.
Exactly.
Huh. Now, in terms of other monetization of the world's fastest growing podcast. No, we'll just talk about ours for now. The good listener, if they haven't noticed already, they may be getting a bit of advertising from time to time. And that's because we reached a bit of a milestone on the platform. And I guess a few of the podcast folks that are sharing our work with the world deemed us worthy of advertisement. So we took them up on it. It doesn't seem overly intrusive, which is nice, but I'm definitely going to monitor it because the point of our podcast is not to annoy you guys too much. Or if we do, it needs to be us and not the advertising. So if it becomes an issue, we'll just probably scratch that. But hey, a couple of bucks here and there helps us keep the show on the road and keeps us supplied with coffee. Eh?
Exactly. So is the advertising actually in English or is it in Hungarian from all our listeners? All our listeners listening in on Podbeansky in the Eastern Bloc.
DDT, that's an excellent point. And these advertising sort of macros or whatever the heck they're called, they're so specialized now, right? That it's pinpointed to probably the listener. So it's geographical, like you say, for sure. But the internet world knows what you're interested in. And we all know this, whether you see stuff on your Twitter feed or whether it's simple Google searches, the ads that pop up, things are tailored to the good listener. So I'm guessing when JB listens to our podcast, you might get the odd Pornhub ad or something like that'll jump in for him. I don't know. Hey, what do you think?
Yeah, most likely. BJ will be getting that. That advertisement pop up. I'm sure he listens to us on the private browsing incognito mode.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
well, I still think advertising gets forced even in that crazy window, but it would probably just be like inert, noble advertising.
Well, it's more for his wife, so his wife doesn't track him on the history.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Oh boy.
So yeah, well, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad we're getting
fun.
a bit of advertising on there, and like you said, maybe cover our coffees, so that you don't have to pay.
From day one, the goal was, if we're having coffee and talking anyways, you might as well share the stupid conversation. And if we could ever get our coffee for free, that would be the goal. That's exactly. Small goals, man.
Yeah.
Small goals.
So on that sale of the T-shirt, I don't know if I mentioned, but we did end up with about $11 in profit.
Ooh, American or Canadian?
I'm not sure. I have to check that.
11 Canadian or 23 American, eh?
No, it would be 23 Canadian, 11 American.
Good point.
Yeah.
I was trying to exaggerate, but it backfired.
Yeah.
Yeah, because funny enough, the dollar is really strengthening. The Canadian dollar is up to about 82 cents now, I think. Highest it's been in a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, not that I can go across the border, but hey, it's good to dream.
Yeah, exactly. Someday. Speaking of, I guess I didn't apologize off the top of the podcast.
No.
So I don't have really anything to apologize for other than a general apology.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to people for listening to our podcast. So I'm very sorry about that. And
I kind of apologized for the advertisements.
Oh, that's true.
Not even knowing how bad they are, but I'm just being proactive, and I hope it's seamless. I hope they're like 15 seconds or less, and I hope you guys keep listening, even if you hear the odd advertisement.
So yeah, we apologize for trying to make money on the podcast.
Damn capitalists.
Now I could hear in the background you're outside again, because we still haven't gotten together for this thing in a few weeks now, right?
Well, I think it's happening sooner than later now, man. I really do. Yeah. Do you notice? We got to be. Everyone has to be so careful now, how they talk about stuff. It's actually it's disappointing, to be honest. But what I will say is it's amazing how irrelevant some of this Doug Ford stuff is becoming. Okay, even JB notices it. My God, were you in on that text last night when he said he went for a bike ride? And
saw that.
Yeah. So our buddy JB goes for a bike ride, good listener, through Stittsville, rural Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And we're not allowed gathering with anyone else in our household. And we're not allowed playing deadly COVID sports like tennis, pickleball, golf, things like that. So he's biking through his neighborhood, and he passes a couple baseball diamonds, basketball courts, tennis courts, and whatnot. And no word of a lie, like dozens and dozens of people gathering, playing softball, football, basketball, tennis on a wall or something, he said. I guess they couldn't get into the courts, but they're playing on a wall. And just lots of folks just hanging out, enjoying the outdoor weather outside. So I'm not judging them at all. I'm just stating his observations. And I think people are moving on. I also heard yesterday, on one of the talk radio shows, that you get a bunch of people out protesting, right? You got the protesters of the world. Hey, hey, ho, ho, we won't go, all that stuff. And they're out protesting. They're not wearing their masks, or anti-masks, or anti-this. And there's more and more of those for sure. But the real issue that is turning the tide in this province right now is the everyday Joe that's just doing whatever the hell he wants. He's not going to Parliament Hill and protesting. He's calling up a buddy, and he's going to go play basketball with him. Or they're getting their softball team together that they should have right now playing real games, and they're going to a diamond and they're hitting the ball around. So this shit's happening everywhere. And when I do my bike rides around, I don't see as much of that, just because I guess of the geography of my route, but I'll see groups of people hanging out on grassy hills. So anyways, I don't want to keep kicking this dead horse, but thanks for you regular folks out there living your lives safely as well, I might add, safely and responsibly. And to the bylaw officers that are driving right by, good for you guys too, because the last thing I'll say on this is I've seen like I had to laugh yesterday. Okay, last quick one here on this topic. There's a whole bunch of bylaw officers at one of the vaccination clinics. It's the oddest thing. I don't even know why they're there. They're directing traffic. They're getting people in and out to get vaccinated. And right beside it, there's a skateboard park. The same skateboard park where some lady got an $800 fine for going there with her kid a while back. I should have took a picture, man. The skateboard park is packed with skateboarders, obviously, and the bylaw officers are behind it, directing traffic and everything. And that's it. Like, that's the picture. So my brain is like short-circuiting, right?
Yeah.
There's probably $13,000 worth of fines right there waiting to be levied.
Yeah.
But they're not doing it, which is great. It's fine. And people are getting vaccinated at the same time. So
those are kids too, right? That are there. Can't see
sure.
too many adults skateboarding, but you never know.
There's a handful. There's always that one weird guy that looks like someone out of a 70s sitcom with his jean shorts moving around.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah, his headband.
Anywho, that's all right. I've been monopolizing this. What do you think?
No, but I was just going to add on to the top of that is I can't see. That's an arbitrary thing, banning outdoor activities like tennis, golf, whatever, because even the CDC, and I know it's not Health Canada, now it's the CDC, which seems to be the preeminent organization when it comes to health in the world, other than the WHO, I guess.
Who?
The WHO? Not the rock band. The
WHO?
Yeah, the WHO. Yeah.
What's WHO? What's it stand for?
Oh, World Health Organization?
Oh, you're short forming it.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Don't we all know who the WHO is?
I usually just refer to them as the World Health Organization.
or WHO for short.
I'm just trying to throw you. Okay, continue.
So the CDC, preeminent, next to the WHO.
That's the Center for Disease Control
and Prevention in the U.S., yeah. So they've come out...
Center for Disease Control.
Yeah, exactly. So they've come out and they've said...
Sorry, dude.
Oh, boy. We're getting off track here. We're getting sidelined.
No, I'm just throwing you. Okay, I'm done. I'm obviously successful.
You have been, yeah. The CDC has come out and said... That's the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, has come out and said that infections outdoor make up less than 10% of the infections. And they actually said, well, that's the worst case scenario. It's probably more like 1%. We're just erring on the side of caution by saying 10%. Yeah. So it's like even less than 1% of, like, you can't, like, it's almost impossible, I think, to get sick unless you're standing in that person's face and they're coughing or sneezing on you, to be sick, to get sick outdoors, in this time of the year.
Yeah. No, it's statistically impossible. Not just improbable, but impossible.
Yeah.
And we even hear this from some of the more liberal MOEs around, right? Like Dr. Vera Etchis is MOE? All about getting outside. Yeah, MOE. Yeah. Like it's like I can't even believe like we're in the only jurisdiction on this continent that has this sort of draconian law in place, right?
Yeah.
And by a freaking conservative government, no less. It baffles my mind. Yeah.
Well, I don't
Being
understand
outside,
how. Yeah. Well, exactly. I don't understand.
I can't even fathom it. And the fact that Ontario itself is such a large geographical area, and we're all lumped into the same laws, basically because of Peel in Toronto.
Yeah.
It blows the mind, and I don't think this would be accepted almost anywhere else on the continent.
So on the opposite fact of that is, statistically speaking, where they are getting the most infections is, of course, indoors, right? Hospital settings, long-term care home settings are getting the bulk of infections. But you're telling people to stay indoors, stay home.
They're roundaboutly lowering people's options and causing them to be more indoors for sure.
Yeah.
And we all know, like we've all heard, well, maybe not all of us, but we may or may not know of other families and people where, instead of their teenagers out at the ballpark kicking or throwing a ball around, they're friggin' huddled in basements playing video games
exactly.
now. Thank you, Basement Doug. Thank you, hashtag basement Doug.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah, let's move on. I'm gonna throw my coffee cup at a squirrel here soon.
You're absolutely right. I think that they should be. I mean, wasn't public health advice always to go outside, get fresh air, do an sporting activity, do some exercise, get some exercise outside, and especially in Canada where you've only got like 4 months of basically nice weather. So I mean, I think this goes against all public health advice in the past, but then that's what happened when COVID came in. We threw everything else out the window. We're making things up as we go along. But anyway, you're right.
It's super sad. It's super sad that we're all losing out right now on those activities, because it's easy to say, yeah, well, we'll get them back at election time and this and that. That train has already left, and it is so far gone you can't even see it anymore. There is no way in hell this government will ever get reelected. So I don't know why they are still doing this crazy stuff. It doesn't even seem natural to their policies. The only thing I'm thinking now, and this is, I can't believe I heard this, but the leader of the NDP, Andrea, whom I'm no fan of, trust me, she is bringing something to the table on Monday where there's some sort of vote to get outdoor activities going, right? 99 times out of 100, these things fail, because the governing party has more votes and they all vote along the party line, right?
Yeah.
But imagine this, okay? Imagine this. And God, I wish I could get the ear of someone out there in the PC party. Maybe you should get back on the letter writing campaigns.
Well, I have been, but you never hear back. You don't hear anything back.
But check this out. Like, here's the thing. So we don't hear back from the big sort of caucus types in the major cities, but these PC folks that are running or have office in the rural areas or even southwestern Ontario, northwestern Ontario, maybe a few around Ottawa, the ones that are not in Toronto or Doug Ford's back pocket, if they want to have a glimmer of hope for themselves to be reelected or to have any sort of hope for the PCs in the future, they got to vote the outdoor activities in. Like, they should support Andrea's bill. And we'll see where that goes. That's the only way we're going to get stuff back before June 2nd. And then that'll be a telltale sign. You'll have the captain and his friggin' minions going down with the ship. And you might have and I'm just saying this as someone who has a glimmer of hope, the glimmerest of glimmers of hope, that the PC party won't be decimated. And that's if a few of them step up now and get with it and say they don't want to have anything to do with Doug Ford. That's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, well, I think, I mean, I'm surprised that Andrea Horwath is proposing that. I can't see an alternative to... I actually think the Liberals and NDP would probably be worse. I mean, I know she said some things that were even more draconian, I guess, than what Doug Ford has done. So, and I can't see
agree,
the Liberals...
but
at least she understands that part of it, I guess.
Yeah, that's my point. Like that's how baffling it is. How on earth do you get a leftist leader suggesting something more common sense than a PC leader would understand it? Like, this is the world we live in. Like, sadly, this exists only in Ontario. It's ridiculous. So would I support the NDP on this one? Of course we would. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, who wouldn't? Doug Ford. And we'll see how many of his party members have drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. I usually don't give a what about votes that happen in the legislature of Ontario, but I'm quite curious how this one will turn out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of throwing your coffee at a squirrel, there is a which I never would, by the way. I know we have some animal lovers that are listening. Yeah.
As am I. I would never throw my coffee at a squirrel.
Well, I've got a dead squirrel.
And if I did, I'd never probably hit it.
No,
not
they're
like
pretty quick.
That Blue Jay, not like that was it Jesse Barfield who threw a baseball at a seagull once?
Oh, that's right.
Was that a thing?
Yeah, I think so. And
so
actually,
I don't
and actually hit it, killed it.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of accuracy.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I ended up with a dead squirrel floating in my on top of my pool cover in the water. I don't know how the heck it got in there, but somehow got in there. My wife spotted it. And
oh God.
And I said, "Oh, the poor thing, like that's too bad." And my wife's like, "Poor thing. It's a rodent, for God's sakes."
So is she going to go remove it?
Of course not. I'll have to go and remove it. I'm going to go give it a little burial and maybe say a little prayer for it. You know, squirrels really are. Yeah, maybe they're rodents, but they really don't. They don't do anything.
Now, if your pool was located in Lanark County, I think we know what you'd be having for lunch.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, little squirrel
meat. It's good meat. It tastes like chicken, they say. Clean it up, barbecue it, a little wild onion and garlic. Oh man.
It's
the best.
Keep the hide. Dry it
Squirrel
out.
shish kebab.
Yeah. Oh.
You've never had it, I guess.
I've never had squirrel shish kebab. No. Have you?
Never had squirrel. Of course, squirrel. Squirrel's a very common meat.
Is it really?
In those parts. Yeah, for sure. Squirrel and rabbit, actually, too.
Well, rabbit.
You've never had rabbit either.
No, I've had rabbit.
Oh, you've had?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You like it?
I do like rabbit, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It used to be a regular staple at our family's, I think, Thanksgiving dinners.
I didn't know that.
Or Easter dinner, one in. Yeah. Rabbit's big in Italy. Italians
traditional
love
Italian cuisine.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was really good. My grandmother, my dad's mom, prepared it. And I think my dad got in on that action after a while too. So it was good, very good.
Would you go out and try to like hunt them and then kind of celebrate the hunt, or you'd buy them? Okay.
Yeah, they buy them. Yeah.
There's a lot of rabbits around Broadwood, that's for sure.
There's true. I've got a few in my backyard. I'm surprised it's not a rabbit in the
your pool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I guess they can't climb like that, so. Yeah. Anyway.
So speaking of dead animals in the water, I mean, I guess the Leafs aren't an animal, but you excited for the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Well, since the Sens did not make it, I probably won't watch it. I don't think. I mean, it depends. I'll see.
Oh, come on! I
know playoff hockey is good.
I'm just like you, and I only watch the Sens as well. But when the playoffs come, if the Sens are out, the only other games I will watch will be the Leafs, so I can hope for the other team. Sadly, the Habs are a team I kind of hate as well.
Yeah.
But it comes down to who do you hate less?
Right.
And for me, this time around, it's definitely the Habs I hate less.
Yeah, Montreal Canadiens for all those people listening in Hungary on Podbinski.
Yeah. So no, I'm excited at the possibility of the Habs beating the Leafs, but on paper it should be a whitewash. Like the Leafs should slaughter them, right?
Yeah, they should.
But that's playoff hockey. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. So this brings up this week's three-way group text segment.
Perfect.
I know we haven't had one in a while.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so, and actually, this three-way group text segment is not between you, me, and BJ. It is actually
even better.
It is actually between...
I can sit back and relax.
Exactly. You have nothing to worry about in this one. No incriminating things against you. It is actually between my sister, my brother, and I. Wow. And the reason is because they're both Toronto Maple Leaf fans.
Oh, this will be good.
Yeah, so
this will be good.
Sens played the Leafs the other night, last game of the season.
And won.
And won. And beat the Leafs again.
Yeah.
So the next morning I piped in on the three-way group text with Leafs suck.
That says everything right there.
Exactly. So my sister gets back to me, says the fan of the team that didn't make the playoffs. Also, why are Sens fans so obsessed with the Leafs? And well, it is basically true. If there's any team in the league that we want to beat as Sens fans, it's always been the Leafs.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
For sure.
Then my brother piped in jealousy. And then I said...
That's an injurious comment right there.
That is an injurious comment right there. And then I said, says the fan of the team that won't get past the second round and maybe not even the first, which is what you never know, right? In playoff hockey. Right?
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. They will probably get by the first, but I can't see them going much further than that.
Yeah. So then they go on to say, delusional like all Sens fans, if only. They have some exciting young players, my sister said. My brother says, by the time the Sens got to March, teams did not take them seriously. I don't think that's true. I think in this, especially this season, that you want to get all the points you can, right?
Yeah. I kind of see his point, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Matter. Next year, baby.
Well, that's it. Exactly. Yeah. And then my brother texts me a picture of, is this some SpongeBob SquarePants gif? Sens baby going to cry.
Oh.
And I said, we'll see who's crying soon enough. I mean, you think the Leafs fans would shut up and just, hold it in for now, until they actually win a round or two?
I agree.
Be a little bit more humble.
Yeah.
And then my brother says, you should talk about this three-way group text on your podcast. LOL. So that's exactly what we're doing. And then my sister sends me an image of a Maple Leafs flag, and I said, well, I hated an image.
God.
And then my brother says, dumb, and I say, you're dumb. And he goes, you are. And I said, no, you are. And then he says, no, you. And then I say, you, and he says, you, and I say, no, you. And then my sister finally says, take me off this group text. So there you have it.
Oh, my God.
There you have it.
Okay.
This week's three-way group text between my sister, my brother, and I.
And you can work on your apology right now for next week for that one.
Exactly.
That is something worth apologizing for.
That is.
That's good, though. It is pretty cool that you and your siblings keep it going like that, though. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We go back and forth.
Typical Leaf fans, though.
Yeah,
but typical Leaf fans, I guess they're excited. Again, on paper, what a team, what a talent.
Yeah.
But that's what's going to make it all the more satisfying to the rest of the world who hates them to see them go down, because everybody knows the playoffs are a different game.
Yeah.
It's ref differently. You can shadow the top talent. It comes down way more to heart, teamwork, buying into the systems, all that stuff, and sadly luck a lot of the time. So I don't know. I think the Leafs are probably not karma worthy. I see some bad luck coming their way, and as much as I hate the Habs and they suck, I mean, what if Carey Price plays and he's back to Carey Price form?
Yeah.
And they get the odd dirty goal, and the Leafs can't do anything because their prima donna superstars are shadowed. Different world, man. It's a whole different thing.
Well, like I said, they should be a little bit more humble until they actually win a round or two.
Yeah, until if they can get out of the North and get in a quarterfinal against, I don't know, someone else who's not Colorado, then you never know. But I can't see it. And what about a team like Edmonton? Holy cow.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you wouldn't take Connor McDavid and his line over friggin' Matthews and his line. Come on.
Connor McDavid, 100 points in 56 games. Over 100
my
points
God.
in 56 games.
He looks like a man playing against boys out there.
Oh, I know.
And I can't think of anyone on the Leafs that can play defense against that. It's not going to happen.
No, true enough. Yeah. Well, that was their three-way group text. It spurred a good conversation there. Anyway,
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. It's fun. Love playoff hockey, even though my Sens aren't in it.
Yeah. Oh, that's certainly playoff hockey certainly ramps up the competition level for sure. So it is very good, especially the overtimes. So.
Yeah. So, how are we doing for time, my friend?
Oh, yeah, we're at about 29 minutes.
Oh, geez,
time flies, eh?
We didn't even get to talk about our unsuccessful phone calls to faraway places to entertain the good listener.
I just hate that we're being ignored by the Faroe Islands.
Oh, man.
How could they ignore such a popular podcast in Hungary? I don't
get it. Why do they think they're so good?
I don't understand.
Oh, man. Yeah. These Danish dependencies of the world. Come on.
Tell me about it.
Well, we'll figure it out. I'm looking forward to something like that soon, especially when we can be back in person and we can just call people up and chat. We'll find some good stuff for the listener.
Well, that'll make it easier when we can do this back in person again, and you.
Yeah.
and not sitting outside and me in my basement.
Well, get out there, good listener, and convince your local PC representative to support Andrea's motion on Monday, and you never know.
That's it.
We could be back out there braving our fears against COVID, playing golf and pickleball. if she gets her way, tennis. I swear. Yeah. Or having a coffee with a buddy. That's on the same property.
That's it.
All right, man.
All right, so should we promote before we go? Should promote Teespring T-shirts, Cop Car Coffee.
Teespring, just as it sounds, TEESPRING.
Yeah, Teespring. Look up
Teespring.com.
Cop Car Coffee.
And copcarcoffee.com. There you go.
And at Cop Car Coffee on Twitter. Check us out.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of work there. More work than you guys, that's for sure.
Well, is it too many cooks when we have too many people posting on Twitter?
Yeah, but come on. Professional podcast Twitter accounts probably have multiple people managing it.
That's right? True. I don't even remember the password to get in.
Neither do I, actually. I think anything that ever requires a password, for me, I just hit sign in through Google.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I don't even remember that one. So hopefully I never have to re-sign in anywhere. But anyways, the Twitter account is a lot of fun. It's maybe gotten a little heavy on the political side of things, but I'm certainly not the only one out there that feels the same. Yeah. So we're definitely getting lots of likes and retweets and follows on there. Hopefully we can translate that into advertising dollars and podcast listenership. But hey, if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Well, we'll see. Like you said, we're on the up and up. We're moving on. We're moving on up to these.
I never would have thought we'd have more than 2 or 3 people that we're not related to actually listening to us on a weekly basis. But we've blown that away.
There we go.
We gotta have about like 40 now weekly.
I feel some pressure. Yeah, it's pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
Well, we're just maintaining stuff for now. It's going to be much better once we can be back in person, I would say.
Exactly.
And we get some different people on to talk their thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. That's another week of Cop Car Coffee. Thanks for listening.